Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Amin and today I'm going to be talking to you about IT, internet technology, the backgrounds of internet technology. I'm reading this big book actually. His name's Computer Science for Kids, and I'm going to be reading a little bit of it to you just to help you understand the first parts of internet technology and computer science. I'm going to be reading to you the 13 every single day. You're going to be in our parts. We're going to have 13 parts. Each part is going to be a chapter. As here, there's going to be there's 13 chapters. So subscribe and like the video. Computers are everywhere. Some people feel computers are too complex for them to use without special skills and knowledge. However, they interact with computers all the time without necessarily realizing it. People feel computers are too complex for them to use without special skills and knowledge. What they mean by that is that when you're using computers, you can get muddled up inside the computer because there's so much restrictions and stuff that you can't do and stuff that you can do, and you have to follow the terms of use, terms of service, and actual rules. Like say there's a virus that pops onto your computer, you have a restriction not to touch the virus, as they can break your computer, and that's one of the restrictions that you can have while you use a computer. They're more complex and there's more stuff that children can't learn properly because it's very hard with all the hardware, software and stuff like that. Computers are almost everywhere, not just in the conventional setup including a monitor, keyboard and mouse. They're absolutely everywhere. What it means by that, there's actually computers called like time. So, as you see, there's a clock there. That clock is still a computer because they use internet and some kind of mechanical stuff to find to know what time is it in the UK. So microwave has pressing a button on the microwave control panels run code, and it's a microprocessor, which means there's a chip. As you can see here, this picture here, there's a chip. This is the microwave. There's a chip for when you press the button for it to start. So that's still a computer. They are also found in everyday devices such as mobile phones, lifts, televisions and cars. So you can find something that includes a computer in absolutely anything in technology, as it's basically everywhere. And like USBs, you can use USB a lot. We have a computer here, an iPad here. My little sister here is using an iPad, so much different things. From watching movies to playing games and even making dinner, computers can be used to almost do anything. Household devices. So these are the devices that you use at home, not like say that Tesla has its own car company, not the stuff that you use outside in companies and at proper work in computer science. This is the one that you use normally at your home. We're back again. We're gonna so like I said, household devices. Many household devices contain computers. Selecting a program or a microwave, for example, actually runs a small program on the computer embedded in the device. Let's start reading about the hardware and software which is in computers, and literally every single thing that contains technology. The physical parts of a computer are called hardware. These include things that we can see, touch, as the monitor and computer case, as well as things we can't see, such as the motherboard and the microprocessor inside the computer case. Things like programs, the operating system, the firmware, which is a type of program that is embedded into the microprocessor, are called software. These allow users to accept the capabilities of the hardware. Hope you got that into your head. And now we have input devices, so these are hardware and software. Hardware is something that you can touch and you can see, and sometimes there's something like things like motherboard and microprocessors that you can't even see. They're inside the computer. Unless you break the computer or look inside the computer, try to fix something, you would see the motherboard and the microprocessor. Input devices. There are a lot of ways to input information and interact with software running on a computer. The most common ways to do this are by using a keyboard, a mouse or a touchscreen. So this is how you interact with technology by using touchscreen computers. As you can see, there's all the stuff that people use for internet technology, and how internet technology goes all around the world. Okay, looking for files. Researching for files on the computer is similar to finding them in a real-world filing cabinet. The file system on the computer is usually accessed using a window containing a small icon or folder or document.
Explain.
So what it means by searching for, looking for files, you say you have a file with pictures and videos of when you're a baby. Pictures and videos of when you're a baby, and all the pictures that you want to save from, like, little baby pictures of my little sister. She was so adorable when she was younger. And we want to save that pictures, so like we won't ever delete it. So we want to keep it onto a file, and we keep the file. And looking for files is pretty hard, but you can also look for file by finding this icon, which you will see if you want to search something up. This icon right here. And a folder can be opened to display the files, including files inside, by touching with a finger or a touch screen, or double clicking with a mouse or a trackpad. So say you have a file and you found a file that you've been looking for 8 years, you would double click it, and that's how you would open the file to see the pictures that you've been saving or you need for a work that you haven't at your work. Searching for files. The best way to look for files is find the magnifying glass, which I've told you, the magnifying glass icon. Then click on it and type the file name or keyword in the search bar. So they'll have a keyword on the search bar, and under it will say there'll be a mini code that you would have to remember. It's really hard to remember, so I think, in my opinion, you should change the name to something that you would remember. So you can change the name to Jason. If say you wanted to name Jason, probably someone's name is Jason, and they have baby pictures. So you can just name it Jason Baby Pictures. Moving data. There are various ways of transferring data between computers. Emails can be used to attach pictures, documents, and other files to a message. So moving data is transferring, like I said, transferring data. Moving data, like I said, there are also systems such as Google Drive or Dropbox that allow people to upload large files and folders into the cloud. These can be shared with others through a link to the uploaded file, which can be then downloaded or even edited online. So there can be a secure digital SD memory card, which is here, and there can be a USB pen drive, which, as I know, lots of people, including my father, uses a lot. Removable storage. You can also move files between computers through a storage device such as USB pen drives and removable hard drives. Data can be stored on memory cards, which can be plugged into computers to be read. Saving and backup. Computers and applications can crash without warning. That is actually true. They can have there'll be system crash, like virus and stuff like that. To avoid losing important work, it is good to practice and save a file frequently while working on it. It is also useful to back up files using either a separate hard disk or online backup software. So what they mean by using that is, say you had such an important work that you needed to give to your boss the next day. You need to save it into a hard drive and onto a file, and say your system had crashed, you would save it, and it would help you. So the next day, when you give it to your boss, the work will still not be touched. Even if the virus is still on your computer, you can still use it and send it to your boss and all the important work that you have. It is also useful to back up files either using a separate hard disk or online backup service. These services are part of cloud computing, where people use the storage facilities of a specialist provider to save data. In the bin, deleting a file by mistake is quite common. Delete files usually go into the into the recycle or trash bin and can be restored by opening the bin or taking a file out. So what they mean by that is, say you had a file that you really don't want, or it's something that you really don't want, you can just put it inside the bin, so you don't have to, it won't take up lots of storage in your computer. This is Mohammed Amin Noor. Thank you so much for watching my video. Subscribe, like, see you all later, stay home, wash your hands, have a nice time. Goodbye.